Welcome to the virtual public meeting for the Texas-Mexico Border Transportation Master Plan, BTMP update. We appreciate your interest in the master plan and thank each of you for your participation. This is a pre-recorded presentation. During the video, you may pause the presentation and navigate forward or backward using your video player. The comment process for the virtual public meeting will be described near the end of this presentation. For too long, drivers have been inundated with safety campaigns that focus almost exclusively on the negative aspects of unsafe driving, from punitive measures to tragic consequences. Unfortunately, drivers see so many of these types of campaigns that they no longer cut through the clutter, limiting the impact of the messaging. It's time to change how we communicate with Texas drivers. Drive Like a Texan, it's all about communicating a positive message. This campaign exemplifies the pride, camaraderie, and responsibility of being a Texan. It doesn't matter how long you've lived here or where you're from. All that really matters is that you embrace those values that represent the best of Texas: kindness, courtesy, respect. By reminding every Texan to practice those values every day, especially when they're behind the wheel, we can make Texas roads safer for everyone. There are three main reasons for this virtual public meeting. The first is to allow you to learn about the Texas-Mexico border region and its importance to the economy. Second, it is to understand what the Texas-Mexico Border Master Plan is and how it is developed and build support for the plan update. Finally, it is to allow the public to provide feedback on how they travel in the border region and what improvements would be beneficial both now and in the future. The Texas-Mexico Border Transportation Master Plan, known as the BTMP, is a binational, comprehensive, multimodal, long-range transportation plan. It identifies issues, needs, challenges, opportunities, and strategies for moving people and goods efficiently and safely across the Texas-Mexico border, the border region, and beyond. The BTMP was adopted by the Texas Transportation Commission in 2021. TxDOT is in the process of updating the BTMP in collaboration with the Border Trade Advisory Committee, BTAC, by national stakeholders and the public. This update relies on input from individuals, communities, businesses, and travelers to help guide future transportation investments within the border region. The BTMP study area looks 60 miles on both sides of the border to understand how individuals, communities, trade, and transportation are connected. In the U.S., this includes 32 counties and 4 metropolitan planning organizations, or MPOs. In Mexico, it includes 61 municipios and 5 metropolitan areas. Across this region, there are 34 border crossings, including 28 vehicle, 5 rail, and 1 pedestrian-only crossing. The study also includes the Santa Teresa border crossing in New Mexico as a part of the larger El Paso-Ciudad Juarez region. Why are we updating the BTMP? Since the adoption of the BTMP in 2021, a lot has changed. We have experienced the COVID-19 pandemic, population growth in the border region, changes in the stakeholders like local leadership and interested parties, updated trade policies like the United States-Mexico-Canada Agreement, known as the USMCA, and rising trends like nearshoring and reshoring. Nearshoring is the practice of a company moving its production or supply chain operations to a nearby country. Reshoring means that company brings operations back to the home country afterwards. Additional changes include improvements in technology, such as advancements in automated manufacturing and pedestrian processing. Technology is moving fast, and supply chains have been disrupted globally and locally. At the same time, increased demand for transportation on roadways, access to buses, and the need for additional bicycle and sidewalk infrastructure leads to congestion and mobility issues. This is why the BTMP update is so important. We need to build a flexible, forward-thinking plan that helps build a safe and dependable transportation network that limits congestion, has reliable border wait times, and is safe for all travelers. Texas-Mexico trade through the border is a powerful economic driver. The Texas-Mexico border is 1,254 miles and has 34 border crossings for cars, freight, rail, bicycles, and pedestrians. In 2024, $840 billion of goods was traded between the United States and Mexico, with 65%, or $553 billion of this trade passing through Texas. The trade also supplies critical jobs in both countries, including over 400,000 jobs in Texas and 5 million jobs in the United States. In 2024, northbound crossings into Texas included 35 million passenger vehicles, 17 million pedestrians, 1 million rail cars, 5 million commercial vehicles, and 73,000 buses. The approach for the BTMP update can be broken down into 4 stages. We are currently in stage 1, where we're working to develop the vision, mission, goals, and objectives for the plan, while also evaluating the international trade context and both existing and future conditions. The next stage will focus on assessing current and future needs and identifying projects, strategies, and policies. From there, in stage 3, we'll assess and refine those policies, programs, and projects. Finally, stage 4 will bring it all together by documenting findings, developing recommendations, and creating an implementation plan. Throughout every stage, binational stakeholder and public engagement will remain central, making sure voices from Texas and Mexico help guide the plan at each step. Stakeholders and the public are a cornerstone of the BTMP update. TxDOT leads the overall process for updating the plan. Beneath that, the Border Trade Advisory Committee, or BTAC, sits at the center of engagement. BTAC is a strategic advisory body that provides direction on binational trade and infrastructure and serves as the hub that connects all levels of input. Along with BTAC, there are several critical engagement channels. The U.S. and Mexico federal and state agencies and committees, like the BBBXG and JWC, bring binational coordination at the highest level. TxDOT borders districts El Paso, Laredo, and FAR provide regional expertise. Stakeholder interviews give us targeted insights and broader community input. Public meetings allow individuals and community members to provide their feedback through public meetings and surveys. And finally, the binational working groups ensure cross-border collaboration at the regional level, capturing needs and priorities specific to each area. Together, this framework ensures that guidance flows from federal partners down to local binational groups, and equally, that local voices and priorities flow back up to shape the BTMP update. As we update the BTMP, these key considerations help us determine what is most important to focus on, and we always begin with safety as our top priority. Mobility and connectivity are important to ensure the border infrastructure network works seamlessly. Technology integration also plays a critical role, helping us modernize and prepare for the future. We're looking at both multimodal movement of people and goods and intermodal connections across different transportation modes. At the same time, we're focused on preserving assets and ensuring resilient infrastructure that can adapt to changing needs. Finally, we consider the realities of international trade as well as shifts in demographics and development patterns, which will continue shaping demand across the border region. When we think about additional key considerations for this update, we're looking closely at what's happening now and how it impacts transportation demand. We're seeing firsthand how the pandemic reshaped mobility and trade, and we continue to feel its effects. There have also been changes in key stakeholders, along with new policies and shifting priorities. If there are additional focus areas that you think would benefit the BTMP update, Let us know your thoughts through the comments during this public meeting. As part of this update, we are asking to help shape a clear and forward-looking vision for 2050. The vision is meant to describe what transportation in the border region should look like in the future, what we want to achieve together. This vision will serve as the foundation for setting goals, strategies, and actions in the BTMP update, ensuring the plan reflects both today's realities and tomorrow's priorities. Through the comments and survey for this public meeting, we would like to know what your vision for transportation in the border region should look like in 2050. Now, let's move on to discussing the goals of the BTMP. Goals provide strategic direction to plan on how to identify and address infrastructure needs in the Texas-Mexico border region. All of the needs identified in the BTMP update will align with one or more of the goals that are decided on for the plan. This slide and the next slide are the goals from the 2021 plan with a brief description. We have also begun identifying additional goals that could be considered. Let us know what goals you think are important through the public meeting, survey, or comments. We'll provide a description of each goal, starting with mobility and reliability, economic competitiveness, safety and security, and connectivity. Mobility and reliability is to ensure people and goods can move efficiently with predictable travel times. Economic competitiveness is to strengthen Texas-Mexico trade to support jobs and regional prosperity. The goal of safety and security is to protect travelers, freight, and infrastructure at and between border crossings. The goal of connectivity is focused on linking communities, industries, and transportation modes across the border region. Additional goals from the 2021 plan include cross-border resiliency, sustainable funding, customer service, asset preservation, and stewardship and sustainability. The theme of cross-border resiliency focuses on building systems that can adapt to disruptions in trade, supply chains, or emergencies. Sustainable funding is securing long-term investment strategies to deliver and maintain improvements. Customer service focuses on improving the experience for travelers, carriers, and stakeholders using the transportation system. The theme of asset preservation is focused on maintaining infrastructure in good condition to maximize performance and value. The final theme from the 2021 plan is stewardship and sustainability, which is managing resources responsibly while minimizing environmental and community impacts. In addition to the goals from the 2021 BTMP, we are also considering new goals that fit into themes such as nearshoring, industrial development, context-sensitive solutions, tourism, and advances in transportation technologies and innovation. The theme of nearshoring, industrial development, and research is focused on addressing the transportation needs that affect supply chain demands and labor accessibility. Context-sensitive solution is a theme that focuses on development improvements that align with the context of the community and its sense of place. The theme of tourism is supporting the safe, efficient, and pleasant flow of visitors in the region. Finally, the theme of transportation technologies and innovation is incorporating advances in vehicular and infrastructure technology into innovative improvements. Let us know what other goals or themes should be considered for the BTMP update. The study team will be meeting regularly with stakeholders and the public throughout the study schedule. These meetings will align with each phase of the study, identify the plan vision and goals, discuss existing and future conditions, assess needs, develop projects, strategies and policies, assess programs and projects, and then through the development of the implementation plan and report. There will be several in-person and virtual opportunities to meet with the project team. The BTMP update is currently scheduled to be adopted by the Texas Transportation Commission in January of 2027. We look forward to your feedback on the BTMP update. There are several ways to provide comments. The webpage for this public meeting is on TxDOT.gov. Keyword search Texas Mexico BTMP. There is an interactive survey that you can complete or an online comment form. You may also email the study team at TxDOT_bordertrade@TxDOT.gov. Comments can also be mailed to TxDOT International Trade and Border Planning. Attention, BTMP update. Address 6230 East Stiasny Lane, Austin, Texas, zip code 78744. All comments are requested to be submitted or postmarked by Friday, January 30th, 2026. Thank you for your participation in this virtual public meeting. This concludes our presentation.